Hi viewers, the video today will feature a brand that I've never shown before on this channel, and that brand is Timex. Obviously a very famous, well-known brand, but the last time I had a Timex watch was probably around about 25 years ago. So there is a good reason I bought this one, and it is purely based on the looks of the watch. This is the very new Waterbury Chronograph with those amazing coloured subdials. And the first time I saw this watch a couple of weeks ago on Instagram, I just thought, wow, what the heck is that? That is beautiful. You know, it instantly reminded me of the Zenith Primero. At the time it was just a quick view I saw of the watch. I didn't know what the brand was, and it instantly caught my attention, and I thought, that looks incredible, must be very expensive, thinking it would be by a big Swiss brand. And then of course I realised it was Timex, and that in a way made me even more interested. So here it is. The Waterbury collection is a sort of celebration going back to their early years when Timex was founded as the Waterbury Clock Company in 1854, I think. So they've brought out quite a few watches under this Waterbury collection, and they all seem to be very handsome pieces, and they look to be well made, well finished, and this one certainly is extremely pleasing to the eye, I think. It's a very special looking watch. I think this could be an instant classic personally. Right, I'll go over the specs quickly before I go on to anything else. Okay, so the case size of this is a pleasing 41mm. The thickness is 13mm. It has a 20mm lug width, and the lug to lug is quite short at 47mm. And this also does have a water resistance rating of 100 meters, which is quite impressive for this type of watch. So yeah, I mean, for me the main feature about this watch is its looks. I think it is such a well designed watch. It really does look $1 million. It's fantastic. Those subdials look great. It's a nice change to see 3 different colours like that, and as I said, that does remind me a bit of the Zenith Primero. I know it's not quite like the dial that they use, but there aren't many manufacturers that do it this way, and I think they've pulled it off really well. It's very unique, with a gorgeous silver sunburst dial. All the markers are applied, and even the second hand has that Waterbury logo on the counterbalance there. And you've got a tachymeter bezel which is finished with a brushed matte polishing on the surface, but the edges are highly polished. Look nice there, and the case is brushed on the sides. Then you've got a polished beveled edge there on the top of the lugs, and then brushed again. Very well done. Don't normally see that on watches in this range, this price. This watch is priced on Timex's website at £190, which is just over $200. I was fortunate enough to get a 20% discount on this, so I think that's excellent value for this watch. It really does look and feel a lot more expensive than that. And they do seem to be selling out very quickly. I really do think this is going to be a classic watch. I think it's going to be a big favourite among many watch fans. The only letdown, which doesn't surprise me really, because it always seems to be a bit of cost cutting on these low end watches, is the bracelet. It's I mean, it looks fine, it feels quite nice, it's just a little bit rattly. Quite an interesting construction there with all the separate links, but it just feels a little bit tinny and rattly. I mean, it is solid, they are solid links, but the end links are not solid, and the clasp is stamped metal there, but it is signed. But you can hear it's a bit rattly, but that's no big deal. I mean, these bracelets never are that great. But yeah, I mean, I might change it, put it on a leather strap, but I think that style does actually suit the watch really well, so I'm not sure. Now, the one thing I cannot find anywhere online or in all the research I've done is the actual movement that powers this watch. It is a Quartz, as you can see there by the ticking second hand in that blue subdial. But there's no information as to what type of quartz it is, but I suspect, as you can see, the second hand on the chronograph does sweep round, and I suspect it's a Mecha quartz, the Seiko Mecha quartz. They do seem to be supplying a lot of watch brands with this movement at the moment. I've seen it in quite a few chronographs, quartz chronographs, and it's a great movement because obviously even though it's powered by a battery, the actual chronograph is more like a mechanical movement. So that's a really nice, surprising feature. Let's stop it there and reset. Now it's not really a true chronograph because the dials there, obviously the blue dial is for the running seconds. The green dial is just a dual time, if you like. It's showing the 24-hour clock measurement, and then it's the red dial that registers the minutes when the chronograph is running. And the crown, surprisingly, which is another good feature, is a screw down crown. Quite a good smooth action, nice pop to it. And you can see the 24-hour dial moving as I move the main hands here. And then you've got date change as well. Good, really smooth action actually, very nice. And the other nice feature on this watch is the crystal is domed. It's not sapphire though, it is a mineral crystal, but I think it looks great. I think they've done a good job with that. Just have a quick look at the case back, which is a screwed down case back. Pretty standard design there, just laser etched on the back. But overall I am very impressed with this piece. It is really well made, apart from the bracelet, which it's not terrible, it's just not great. But the actual watch itself, the case is really nicely finished. The crown is signed and the pushers have that cross hatch etching on there, looks nice. The brushing on the bezel is great, but the dial is the real star of the show on this watch. Look at that dial, it's just beautiful. The handset is done well. Okay, I'll just show you how that looks on the wrist. It's great. I haven't had a chance to size the bracelet yet, but I can see that's going to fit really nicely. The lug's curved down. It is a nice slim profile, and yeah, that just looks great. Yeah, that's a really unique style. I'd imagine you'd get a few comments wearing this watch, because it is quite unusual, but in a really understated way. It's definitely one of the best looking watches you could get for under £200. That I can't think of anything else that looks as good as that, to be honest with you. Yeah, really, really smart. I'll quickly show you the loom shot now in the dark. See, the hands and the indices are loomed. Not super bright, not terrible, but nothing special. But then I wouldn't really expect that on a dress watch like this. But that's fine. It's better than nothing, I suppose. Okay, I'm just going to zoom in on the dial, show that off in a bit more detail, see how that bears up with the macro shot. I think that really does show how well made that dial is and how beautiful it looks. Very intricate. The colours, I think they work really well together. definitely look great on that silver dial. I don't think that would work on a black or a blue dial. It has to be silver. Just magnificent, really, really lovely. And the indices are very well applied. Love that second hand with that W on the end there, looks great. Now, I have to say, I did think this handset was silver, was a polished chrome silver standard look, but I can see now it's not. It is actually almost black. There's sort of a very dark grey glossy finish on the handset, which really surprised me. This is a new watch. I've only just received it today, so I haven't had much time with it, and I didn't notice that before until now. That is not silver, that is black, but it's really well finished. Look at that. Really surprised with that. It's an unusual choice on the watch with a silver dial to have that, but I think it actually works well. You do not often see a black handset on this type of watch. Usually on a diver with an orange dial or something like that. But this is more of a dress style watch, and it's strange because on the website they do actually refer to this as a diver style chronograph, which it seems a bit odd to me because it's definitely not a dive watch. But they do mention that. So it's a little bit of a strange concoction, if you like, but yeah, just adds another layer of uniqueness to this dial. Yeah, that does look really smart. Very high quality finishing on that. And the printing really super crisp, as you can see. Excellent stuff. The date window is quite subtle between the 4 and 5 o'clock. Just cut out of the dial there, not framed, but it's fine. Doesn't interfere with the dial at all. Then you've got that Waterbury logo there as well on the other side. Again, really finely printed. Really, really good stuff. Just have a quick look at that finishing in detail. Horizontal brushing on the case. Nicely polished there. Yeah, it's good. Do like that crystal, that domed effect. Really works well on this watch. Okay, well that's it. That's a wrap for this one. So I hope you enjoyed watching this. I'm sure you'll agree that it is a very handsome looking watch. Very unique. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.